All these things we do, it don't matter when I'm coming home. I reach towards the sky, I've said my goodbyes. My heart's always with you now. I won't question why so many times.
Ladies and gentlemen, last week Rock and Roll God attacked Tanka Shibo, which is what led to this matchup here tonight on F1 Breakdown. And ladies and gentlemen, this match is picking up as quick as a hurricane in the savannah. I don't know that makes any sense at all, but hey, ladies and gentlemen, it's my commentary. Shut the fuck up, and oh my god, a big book across the jaw of Rock and Roll God as Tanka Shibo goes on top rope and a double stomp across the gut of Rock and Roll God. Pick up his opponent, going for the lockup. And oh my god, some type of Rikishi kick across the face of Rock and Roll God, plants him down, picks him up once again, Irish whip turnbuckle, and slams him back first. And now Tanka Shibo playing around with the lifeless, or potential lifeless, Rock and Roll God. Rock and Roll God has not been so lucky recently in his streaks recently, and this could be another victim he could be facing against, known as Tanka Shibo. Rock and Roll God rolls out of the ring. It is wise. Never mind. Rock and Roll God moves out of the way, trying to avoid Tanka's attempt to try to dive inside the ring. Going for the left, rainbows to the outside, neck hitting the bare ground. And now go behind, elbow to the face of Rock and Roll God, grabs him and throws him right back to the ring. Now Tanka goes from behind, going for that rip cord. Oh my god, lariat! The freaking Rock and Roll God flips him, turns him inside out. And now Rock and Roll God is slowly trying to get up to his feet. Alright, so turnbuckle. His back makes it. And now he's going to play around with Rock and Roll God as Tanka is planning on what he's going to do next to Rock and Roll God, or what type of maneuver he was possibly doing. Rock and Roll God, they're getting a little technical with their opponent, and they just bump to each other. Gives Rock and Roll God the advantage. Go for a snapmare slam, snapmare driver to Tanka Shibo, and a punch to the face rocks him over. Ooh, and a knee meets the jaw of Rock and Roll God. Now Tanka going from a pom-pom figure to pom-pom figure, but the pom-pom figures to pom-pom figures to Rock and Roll God. And now Tanka picks up his opponent. Another Rikishi kick across the face of Rock and Roll God. Pick him up. Look for something wise. Irish whip turnbuckle, and he does it again. Here goes for a power bomb. Turns him over to a knee. The knee to the face of Rock and Roll God by Tanka Shibo. And now Irish whips into a turnbuckle. And now what? Ooh, and a knee to the face. Going on the bottom rope. And now he's playing with him with his damn top of the boot of Tanka. Bam! A kick to the face of Rock and Roll God. Rock and Roll God, lifeless on the apron, getting some composure. Tanka was doing something, but he looked like he failed. Grabs the leg of Rock and Roll God. Ooh, stops him in there, kicks him, and sweeps him off his feet. And now Takashiba go for ooh, a rear move, but never mind, kicks right to the face. Now he's getting up slowly up to his feet. The Rock and Roll God think it's time to celebrate. And now Tanka once again going for the pom-pom figures, the pom-pom figures, the pom-pom figures, the pom-pom figures, the pom-pom figures to Rock and Roll God. And now Rock and Roll God slowly getting up to his feet. Going for the grab. Slip him to the turnbuckle and lands back first. Goes towards the ropes and pick boots him right across the face. And now going for the lockup. Suplex. Nope. Knee to the face of Rock and Roll God, buzzing him wide open. A position you definitely do not want to be in this match. You do not want to be bloodied up, because that could be the disadvantage on your end. That could possibly leave an opening, a surrounding narrative of what could be happening in this match. You must have to not be able to be bust wide open, because if you're a big man like Rock and Roll God, that could be your advantage for your opponent to get some damage on you and knows, okay, you're bleeding, I'm going to hit you more in that area so you can bleed a little bit more. So you can possibly be a little bit lightheaded while going into the ring, and simply no one wants to be lightheaded, let's be honest. And now Takashiba took a kick across the face of Rock and Roll God. Picks him up. Reverse whips him. Meets the turnbuckle and back makes it. Now Tanka go for a suplex. Power bomb into a knee. The knee to the face of Rock and Roll God. Picks up his opponent. And now throws to the turnbuckle. And now grabs the head. And now he's just kicking the face of Rock and Roll God, really playing around with him. I think he's really trying to send a message to Crash Killer, saying that despite my goofy antics, I can be at the same exact level as you are, and you can try to deny the fact that it's true, but hey, I can play what you can play better. That's in the mind of Takashiba. Now Tanka really trying to make him bust wide open a little bit more. Trying to take his time with his opponent. Is it wise? I don't know. That's all for you to decide if what the strategy that Tanka's going through is smart enough. But at the same exact time, you gotta do what you gotta do to get the upper hand up against your opponent. And now Tanka, once again, going for the pom-pom figures, the pom-pom figures, the pom-pom figures to Rock and Roll God. Kicks him in the guts. Ticket to nowhere. The freaking Rock and Roll God by Tanka. Now Tanka on the other side of the ring. Set it up for the ooh, fabulous kick across the face of Rock and Roll God is over. 1, 2, kick out by Rock and Roll God. And that simply disappointed Tanka. You can see his eyes there. Ooh, a step clothesline knocks down Rock and Roll God. But he's not done. He is not done yet. Throws him on that corner. Grabs him. Tanka, middle rope, and a kick to the face of Rock and Roll God. He rolls to the outside of the ring, near the apron, trying to relieve that lightheadedness he has. And now Tanka giving Rock and Roll God a little beat of the Byron. At least that's the word what Sheamus calls it. But he's really beating the chest of Rock and Roll God like a drum on sympathy. And now he picks him up, grabs him, and kicks to the gut. Run strikes by Rock and Roll God to Tanka, and oh my God, lands right in the knee, the ribs of Tanka. And now Tanka gets thrown right back to the ring. Count of 3, wherever he counts. And now elbows across top of the skull of Rock and Roll God, winds him over in a knee to the face. You get a vision, you get a realization of the lifeless body of Rock and Roll God laying down on the mat, not knowing where he's at. And now Tanka gonna take the advantage of the lifeless. Ooh, Rock and Roll God, another sweet kick to the face of Rock and Roll God. 1, 2, and Tanka picks up the W. Here is your winner, Tanka Shibo! Yeah, Tanka Shibo picks up a dominant win here tonight on F1 Breakdown. We'll see you guys next time. Wait a second. Who is this man with a damn sledgehammer? And fuck. Oh my god, Lever shot the goddamn sledgehammer. Who in the hell is armed in the goddamn mask? Oh, wait a second, no. That's Braun Steel. What does Braun Steel have association with Tanka? This is not his opponent, it's Tristan Graves. And wait a second. This is not who I think it is coming out of the damn ring. Is that Crash Killer? I mean, he's been disrespected for the past few weeks by Tanka, so I guess he wants to put a little bit of vengeance in the brain of Tanka. Want to see the realization of, oh my god, candlestick across the top of the skull, and now he's just bashing him over and over again. The damn candlestick really trying to give him every ounce of mercy he wants towards Tanka. And now Crash Killer with a hammer across the chest of Tanka and just throws him right back in the ring. And now Braun Steel going underneath that ring, grinding for something, possibly another sledgehammer. And there it is, that sledgehammer gets right back to that ring. And now you see Crash Killer go inside the ring with Tanka, trying to lure more damage to the outside. Crash Killer gonna hit the inverted slam on Tanka Shibo. And there's Braun Steel sledgehammer once again. Tanka somehow willing to fight off Braun Steel. Braun Steel gonna hit his version up to nowhere on the opponent known as Tanka Shibo. And bam, and there it goes, right down the dime. Here's Crash Killer going for it. Ooh, explorer suplex on Tanka Shibo. And here's Braun Steel going for that spike power on freaking Tanka Shibo. And there you are. A vision that a lot of people want to sight to see. The lifeless body, a lifeless bloody body of Tanka Shibo. And you can see the deadless eyes of Crash Killer, knowing exactly what he just did, knowing exactly that whatever goal he had, it's been fulfilled by this attack. And then you see Braun Steel joining right beside Crash Killer. What happens next?